Good evening. I'm Ava, and you're watching WNBA Trending. Tonight's top story is one that has sent shockwaves through the sports world, bringing together two leagues that, on the surface, might not appear to have much in common. But as women's sports continue to fight for greater visibility, sponsorship, and survival, it seems the story of Caitlin Clark, already the most talked-about athlete in the WNBA, has once again taken center stage. Only this time, it's the LPGA, professional women's golf, that is asking for her help. And the circumstances are both urgent and surprising. Caitlin Clark has become one of the most influential figures in women's sports history, despite being in just her rookie season with the Indiana Fever. Her rise to stardom during her college career at Iowa, followed by her record-breaking entry into the WNBA, has given her a level of attention rarely seen before in women's basketball. Ticket sales, television ratings, merchandise numbers, and even league-wide sponsorship deals have skyrocketed thanks to her presence. In fact, Clark has almost single-handedly forced the WNBA into mainstream conversations, making her not just a star but a movement. Now, the LPGA, the Ladies Professional Golf Association, has come forward with an unexpected plea. Sources close to the league reveal that officials have reached out to Clark's representatives, hoping to partner with her in some capacity to help boost the LPGA's visibility and fan engagement. The organization is reportedly struggling with declining ratings, a stagnant fan base, and difficulty attracting new sponsorships, despite featuring some of the best golfers in the world. The urgency of this request stems from the fact that the LPGA has been overshadowed, even more than usual, in recent years. With women's basketball capturing the cultural spotlight thanks to stars like Clark, Angel Reese, and Breanna Stewart, women's golf has found itself almost invisible in mainstream sports coverage. And that invisibility has real consequences. Fewer eyes on broadcasts mean fewer sponsors, and fewer sponsors mean less financial stability for players and the league as a whole. The LPGA's idea is not necessarily that Clark would step onto a golf course and compete, but rather that her influence, her name, and her platform could help them attract attention in ways they haven't been able to on their own. Imagine Caitlin Clark hosting a charity golf event with LPGA players, appearing in promotional campaigns, or even simply speaking publicly in support of women's golf. Those possibilities alone could change the trajectory of the LPGA, at least in the short term. But here's where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. Caitlin Clark is currently injured. After carrying a heavy workload for the Indiana Fever and drawing constant physical attention from opponents, Clark has been sidelined. Her injury status has been a topic of concern for fans, teammates, and league officials who know how much she means to the WNBA's current momentum. For the LPGA to come forward in the midst of her recovery only underscores just how desperate the situation has become. Let's take a step back and look at why Caitlin Clark's influence is being sought in the first place. Sports marketing experts say Clark is not just an athlete, she's a cultural icon in the making. Her games sell out arenas. Networks see rating spikes every time she plays. Even casual sports fans, who may not have watched a single WNBA game before the season, now tune in just to see her perform. On social media, her highlight reels are shared millions of times. In short, she is the kind of pull that can transform not just basketball but women's sports as a whole. The LPGA, meanwhile, has struggled to find its equivalent. While stars like Nelly Korda, Lydia Ko, and Jean Young Ko are household names in golf circles, they don't carry the same cultural weight outside the sport. The LPGA has tried new broadcast strategies, international tournaments, and sponsorship packages, but so far, none of it has led to a breakthrough moment. That's why Clark, even injured, represents hope. She has the ability to bring new eyes to women's golf simply by lending her brand to it. Now, the big question: will Caitlin Clark say yes? At this point, her camp has not confirmed or denied whether she'll consider working with the LPGA. Insiders suggest she's focused primarily on her recovery and on ensuring she's ready to return to the Fever. After all, her commitment to her team and the WNBA is clear. However, Clark has always been outspoken about supporting women's sports broadly, not just basketball. During her college days, she often spoke about the importance of lifting each other up across different disciplines. That ethos could make her open to helping the LPGA, even if only symbolically at first. Still, there are challenges. The WNBA season is demanding, and Clark's physical health is a priority. Any outside commitments would need to be carefully balanced. Then there's the issue of perception. Would fans see her involvement in golf as a distraction from her basketball career? Or would they see it as a natural extension of her influence and a way to champion women's sports more broadly? What's undeniable is that Caitlin Clark has reached a level of influence rarely seen in women's sports history. She's being asked not just to play basketball but to save other leagues, to carry the banner of women's athletics across multiple fronts. That kind of responsibility is enormous for anyone, let alone a rookie athlete recovering from injury. But it also speaks to the moment we're living in. Women's sports are having a renaissance, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of it. Whether it's packed arenas for WNBA games, record-breaking television audiences, or now, the LPGA turning to her for support, the message is clear. Clark's impact extends far beyond the court. As we wait to see how this story develops, the sports world is left to wonder, can Caitlin Clark do for the LPGA what she's already done for the WNBA? And perhaps more importantly, should she have to? After all, she's just one athlete, albeit an extraordinary one. The long-term survival of leagues like the LPGA should not rest solely on her shoulders. But the reality is, at this moment, nobody else in women's sports has her reach. If Clark does decide to lend her voice, her presence, or even her image to the LPGA, it could mark a turning point not just for golf, but for how women's sports organizations collaborate and support one another. Instead of competing for attention, they may find greater strength in unity. For now, all eyes remain on Caitlin Clark. Injured, recovering, and already carrying the hopes of the WNBA, she's now facing another unexpected request, one that could change the course of another league's future. Whether she says yes or no, the fact that this request exists tells us everything we need to know about her influence. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement, and every league in women's sports wants to be part of it. I'm Ava, and this has been WNBA Trending. Stay tuned for more updates on Caitlin Clark, the LPGA, and the growing impact of women's sports worldwide.